Hey, welcome to another tutorial. Welcome to another tutorial. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to yet another tutorial. We did a bunch of OS ticket stuff this time. We're going to be setting up and deploying Active Directory domain controller. Before that, just give a little quick overview. Of course, I have one of my helpful, hefty PowerPoints just to give an overview of what it is that we're working within and what we're doing. I feel it's best to kind of understand that rather than just jumping in and doing a bunch of stuff on a computer. Anyone could do that. And it helps me since I just started out to remember what it is. Now, what is Active Directory? Basically, it allows the IT department to let users know what they can and can't do. It assigns to people what they can and can't do, right? It lists, stores, and organizes information, right? This is a big place. It could be pictures, documents, folders, videos, and who can and can view it, can read it, can share it, can modify it, can delete, things like that. That's what Active Directory allows IT to control, who can and can't do certain things within this entire system. Now, talking about we're going to make a domain controller. It's going to control basically a network. It's like a network, but I'm going to explain more exactly what it is. And these are also terms used that you'll see once we're setting it up that they actually use, like domain, organizational unit, forest. And I'm just going to kind of explain how you can conceptualize it, what it is, what it's viewed at, so you can have an idea that it's basically this network that you have within the company. So a forest, right, is basically the company. Right, that's how you can understand it. Very simple, clear imagery. Forest equals company, right? That's what you're starting with, a forest. Now, you can have different trees, right, within this forest, and the trees could represent the countries that the company is in, right? US, UK. Now, say you're gonna have a domain controller. The domain, you could say, is the actual city within the country, right? And remember, this is all within a big forest, right? And the domain could be cities, UK, New York, London, New York. That would be the domain. And the organizational unit would be the actual units within the company, within that company. For example, it could be one person, admin, it could be an organizational unit, or a bunch of people. The marketing department could be an organizational unit. And you'll see we'll be making organizational units within our system, our Active Directory, and little things like this. I feel a good quick overview. So, you're going to want to troubleshoot when you do stuff. I imagine I would want to. Like you're a doctor, you're a surgeon, you're IT. You're supposed to help people with their issues. You have to understand, what's a problem with my ligament or a problem with my tendon. Where is that? What's around it? What's it connected to? Right? So the same thing with like Active Directory and domains, domain controllers. When we talk about these things, how some IT people understand it and how it's actually set up within IT. And so you have this idea, this issue with my domain, right? You say, I'm not able to log in to my domain, or, the marketing department is having the issue with sending a document. It might have to do with permission that the Active Directory didn't grant, or it has to do with the specific forest that there's an issue with the actual forest, or the tree that they were in. This tree has permission, right? You can just get an idea and have like this clear idea. And online, you see a lot of them have like triangles within triangles within triangles. It's good to have an idea of what you're doing, because being an IT person, you got to be able to dissect this stuff and have some type of understanding. So that's why I like doing these things. So I kind of get an idea, and it will obviously evolve over time. And I just definitely suggesting you like making your own type of thing, and just remembering how people think of these things: forest, domain, organizational unit. So let's jump right in here. We're gonna make a domain controller virtual machine. Remember, all this time we've been saying don't use server. I've been saying don't use Windows Server. Don't use Windows Server. Well, now we're gonna go right down for anything else and pick Windows Server. Right? Boom. So Windows Server Data Center. Let's pick this right here. Shouldn't be an issue. Boom. We're finally picking Windows Server. Right? Azure Edition. I wonder what the difference is. I just started using this, but sounds right. I'll use 2019. But let's use the most updated version here, guys. Okay, and of course, like the last time here, virtual machine test, and let's call it what it is, a domain controller. Again, zone 3 is like the only one that gets supported here. Remember your default password that you have in your mind and user. I use the same test one for everything. Next. Same network right there. Controller looks good, looking good. It's gonna create, shouldn't take too long. If it does, of course, we skip ahead. Okay, now we're able to create. Probably skip ahead here, might take a little bit. Okay, guys, we got it here. We got domain controller. We got our domain controller machine on the Windows Server. Now, what we're going to do here is set our IP address to static. That's something you need to do, so it never changes. So other computers can always log in connected to the same IP address. So you got to go to network settings. Let's see here. Click on network interface, right? Network interface, IP configuration. Where is... There we go. I was waiting for another page to load there, but it was already loaded. So now you gotta pick static, right? Very simple, right? Very simple. It looked like it was gonna be an issue there. My computer seemed to be loading, but very simple. Network interface, IP configuration, static. So the private IP will stay 10.0.0.12, right? Because we want our machines that will be on this network that's going to be formed via the server they want to have the same IP address for them to log into. So we want the static IP address. Very simple process. Okay. Let's see. Now we're going to want to log in to our domain controller. Of course, copy the public IP address. I'm in a Windows app on a Mac, so I can only use Mac, guys. PC, might have to use another tutorial, but it should be pretty similar. Again, this is domain controller. Again, my computer acting funny there. Okay, I'm just gonna log in here. And you'll be able to see the difference between the Windows machines that we have been creating and this Windows Server machine. So loading here is loading a lot of stuff. It might take a while. It's a different type of machine. Of course, if it takes too long, I'll skip ahead. Oh, but it looks like we're already there. Now, certain things should pop up. Certain managers should, a certain window should pop up because this is a server machine. Yes, I want it to be discoverable. That's always a good thing. See, there we go. Server manager, right? That verifies that we are in the correct type of machine. Yes, we did it, guys. We did it. Click that off there. The font seems a little small here. I could enhance the view. There we go. I did it. I did something. Okay. Okay. Well, that's fine there. Okay, guys. So we're into our domain controller. Now you see the reds and thing. Obviously, it's not set up completely correct here. The first thing we want to do is disable the firewall here. So it'll take a little bit. So wait a second here. Looks like it's still loading up a little bit. But we did it, guys. We got our domain controller. Okay, now. You're going to want to type in the start menu wf.msc. Okay. Click on it. Okay, because we're going to want to disable the firewalls here. Just what you have to do. Let's see here. There's firewall properties. This is so small. I want to make sure. Can we increase it a little bit here? Now it's like too big. I don't want 200. How about 150? Oh, yeah. I don't know why it's doing this here. Well. Oh my gosh, it made it even bigger. Oh gosh. Okay, now it's perfect. There we go. Okay. So, you want to right click on Windows Defender Firewall, right? And basically you want to click the firewall off everywhere, right? Firewall off. Private profile, firewall off. Right? Public profile, firewall off. For all these profiles, and leave IPsec, leave that. We don't do anything with that, but public, private, and domain profile, you turn the firewall off. Okay? And click apply. Okay. Okay. So now you've basically got your domain controller set up here, right? out of there. Let me click on it again just to see something. Yes. Now you see it's should be green, guys. Okay, once you do the firewall, right, it should be looking like this. You shouldn't have any red anywhere. That's why you gotta turn them firewalls off, right? It should be green across the board. If it's not green across the board, you didn't do it right. Now what we're going to do is to set, we want our other machine that we created before, remember OS ticket, we want it to no longer connect to the virtual network, but we want it to connect to this server, to the domain controller, because the domain controller is going to control everything. It's going to be the new network. So we want it to connect to it, which is also why we set the IP address to static, so it can always connect to it. So you lock in the OS ticket, you go to again, where we go to network settings, right? Network interface, click on it. DNS servers, right? Now you see it automatically inherits from virtual network, automatically connects to the virtual network. But we're going to want to set it to custom, and the custom will be the private IP address of domain controller, which is this. As we said before, 10.0.0.12. So you copy and paste it. You go back to the regular machine, the OS ticket. You go to network settings. You go to network interface. You go to DNS server. You click on custom. You paste that. Right? And then you save. So now OS ticket, this machine is going to connect to this domain controller, to our domain controller machine. It's saved. We're good to go. You go switch it back when we're done with it. And I probably will do other things, but it's not connected to it. Now you can also check it here. Let's see. Let's get this public IP address. Let's log into it. We're going to skip ahead. We know how to do this. Okay, guys, so we're back in the machine here. The OS ticket machine, as you can see. We're going to go to PowerShell. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you. Remember, you're supposed to connect to the domain controller. And we're just going to make sure that it has, in fact, done that. And we should get all the information here. Let's see here. It hasn't done that. So I'm guessing what we need to do is reset it. Because you see here the DNS server, right? That's basically still the virtual machine that is connecting to, right? That's not 10.0.0.12. So I assume what we have to do is reset the machine in Azure. So OS ticket, we're going to restart it, right? Okay, guys, we have reset the machine in Azure. We were logged back in to OS ticket. So let's go back to PowerShell, ipconfig space / all. And there you go. See your DNS server is 10.0.0.12. We have connected to our domain controller. Right, we can see that IP config all is going to show you all the configuration, right? Boom. That's what we want to see. The DNS server points to the domain controller. Okay, right, very important step, and that's how you can see. Otherwise, the later things we're going to do won't work. That's a very important thing to make sure you are done correctly, And if not, you say, oh, I should reset it in Azure. So it resets what it connects to. Okay. Now we are going to want to actually set it up, right? Like it's just here and it's connected to it, but let's actually set up this Active Directory. Now, let's see, server machine, server manager. Now, let's go to add roles and features, right? Then we're gonna go to, let's see, what did I previously say? We're just gonna install it, right? Again, like everything default. I'm just a beginner, just getting started. Keep everything pretty much default. Roles. Okay, they ignore that. Let's see. Active Directory domain services. Click on that. Okay, and yes, I believe that's all you need to click. Active Directory domain services. Keep everything else default. Next. Next. We don't get too complicated. Next. Install. Okay. Again, if it takes a while, of course, we're going to skip ahead. Okay, that took a while there. I think we're in. Now you see it's still not completely up 100%. I'm going to need to promote this to a domain controller. It has it right there. And let's see here. Remember, we talked about domains, right? You click add. Let's see. Add a new forest, right? Right? This is a forest. You're going to create your company, right? You got to add a new forest. And it's going to be mydomain.com. The name of the company. The name of your forest is mydomain.com. Right? Next. The password. Leave all that default, guys. The password. We're going to make the password capital P. Password 1. Capital P. Password 1. Keep it very simple for demonstration purposes. And let's see here. Let's uncheck this. Keep it simple. Uncheck that. If it takes a little bit, we're going to skip ahead. My domain, that's correct. Click ahead, click ahead. Install it. Okay, it's just installing here. We almost got a domain controller. Okay, you can see here disconnected is restarting, right? Gonna have to log back into it. Let's just delete it here. Let's go back. Domain controller. Because now it's a domain controller with mydomain.com, so you're gonna have to log in with mydomain.com. I believe. Right? How you do it, you go mydomain.com. That's what you're logging into. That's the company name and the same user, right? And should be able to log in here. Uh-oh. Oh, I believe it has to be a backslash, not a forward slash. It has to be a backslash. Yeah. Make sure you use the backslash, not the forward slash leaning forward, the backslash. And you have to log in as mydomain.com now, because that's what we configured it as, is mydomain.com. That's the name, so whatever the company name is. You could put fancytires.com. You know, think of it like before we just logged into a machine, but now you name, this is your company basically. Remember, this is your network. So you're gonna log in as your company. You name it ichigo.com. You have to log in to ichigo.com. Now you have to log into the actual company. That group policy is basically the policies you set, the permissions and abilities you set for users. That's what a group policy is. So remember we said organizational units. For those organizational units, group policies manages what those particular organizational units are able to do. Okay, guys, and we're back. We're in. Everything's green. We're a go. We're in mydomain.com. Now we're going to set up. We need, actually, we'll say that for the next video, guys. But this is all set up. My domain controller, mydomain.com. Boom. There you go. We're going to set up in the next vid. I'm going to redo how I did in previous labs. Just setting up a user, setting up the connection to the machine. Very simple things, very quick. No real PowerPoint needed since we understand the structure. That'll be in the next video, guys. But otherwise, we have actually got our, our domain controller up here and running. Okay, thank you for tuning in to this tutorial, guys. See you in the next vid.